Hi, this is Stephanie Raven reporting with What's Up College Edition, and we're here today to interview Miss Dr. Transue. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you, Stephanie.
She has such a nice office. I've never been in here before.
You'll have to come more often.
I know, I hope so. Okay, well, we have a few questions that we wanted to ask you. We've been trying to get a hold of you for a long time. Finally, she was nice enough to let us talk to her. So one of our first questions is, so what are some of the advantages of a community college versus a four-year university?
Well, I think probably first and foremost is the emphasis that we place on high-quality teaching. Mm-hmm. That's very, very important to us, and our faculty, when they do their hiring, are always very careful to make sure that we have people who are very effective in the classroom. Mm-hmm. And if you combine that with the small class size and with the very student-centered philosophy that we have at Tacoma Community College, I really do think that it's an excellent alternative to a four-year school.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We have really, really good teachers here.
Yeah.
I'm always really amazed by that. So. And how do you feel about the rise in tuition facing students today?
Well, I'm very concerned about that. But you are too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's something that I think tuition has increased, I don't know, over 100%, I think, in the last 10 years or so. And that's a great burden on students. Mm-hmm. So even though we do have, we have pretty good financial aid in the form of scholarships and grants and loans, it's still really a struggle for students. Every time the legislature gets in a really tough spot, mm-hmm. and they don't have enough money to fund current programs, they tend to shift the burden to the students. Mm-hmm. And that has happened quite frequently over the last 10 years or so. And I really hate to see that trend.
We're all just going to have to bear with it.
Yeah, and hope it gets better.
Hopefully. Well, at least we have financial aid, though.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was your college experience like, and when was it exactly that you decided that you wanted to be the president of a college? Big decision.
Well, I was a high school dropout, so I did not meet the admissions criteria mm-hmm. for any of the colleges and universities that were that I knew about. At the time, I didn't even know that community colleges existed. I'd never heard of a community college. Mm-hmm. And that would have been an ideal alternative for me because of my background and the fact that I mm-hmm. hadn't completed high school. But what I ended up doing was going to the University of Washington and finding, fortunately, an administrator there who was willing to bend the rules and admit me into the university, even though I didn't meet their criteria for admission. And then it just turned out to be a wonderful experience. I can't tell you how it changed my life. I wanted to take every course in the catalog. And of course I couldn't do that, but it was very, very difficult for me to choose a major. And then there was so much going on outside the classroom. Mm-hmm. I got very involved in all of the political issues and events that were taking place in the late 60s and early 70s. And so that was, it was a remarkable experience for me. I never intended to become a college president. In fact, I would have to say that if I were able to follow my dream, mm-hmm. I would be a student for the rest of my life. I can't think of anything more wonderful than being in the classroom. But of course, like most of us, I have to work for a living. So, as a result, I kind of my hope was to do the next best thing. Mm-hmm. Which was to be in the classroom as a teacher. So I pursued a PhD with the hope of then having a teaching career in the college or university environment for the rest of my life. And that's what I was doing. I was teaching part-time at Ohio State University when I started getting offered positions in administrative work. And I did really find, to my surprise, that I enjoyed it very much, because it was an opportunity to work with a wide variety of people from throughout the university to make things happen. And so that kind of got me started along those lines, and then that's kind of where I stayed through a variety of administrative positions.
Wow, it's quite a story.
Well, thank you. I think
Well,
you never know where a degree in English will take you.
Well, we're glad that you decided to be the president.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so, what are some of the duties and responsibilities that you have as being college president?
Well, I think that the function of the president, as well as the function of all of the administrators at the college, is to ensure the success of the students by facilitating the work of the faculty. So that's, in a very broad sense, what I see my role as being. Now, when you get down to the to the more specific kinds of responsibilities, as president, my responsibilities fall into two areas. They're external and they're internal, and that's about 50-50 split. So internally, I really have, ultimately, I have responsibility for pretty much everything that goes on here, for the academic programs and for all of the student services that we have, for the management of the college budget, for the buildings and the grounds and everything else. So that's now. I also have the college has a board of trustees. These are citizens who are appointed by the governor, and they provide the general direction for the college, the policy and the priorities, and then it's my responsibility to try to carry out whatever the board has, whatever direction the board has set. So that's kind of how it falls on. That's the internal side, and then on the external side, which is the other 50%. I'm the primary spokesperson for the college, so that means I interact with everybody out there in the legislature, in Congress, in the community, in the business world, other kinds of public and private organizations, the media, as we're doing right now, the media. And so it's I would say that the way it breaks down is that my responsibilities are about evenly split among national, state, and local kinds of activities and responsibilities.
Wow. It's a lot of stuff to do.
It keeps me busy, and it's never boring.
That's good. It's always important.
Yeah.
So also in the past 2 years, TCC has unveiled a new art gallery, and we've also expanded the student center.
Right.
So in the near future, what other changes and improvements can students expect to see?
Well, I think those fall into two or three primary categories. One is the campus itself, the buildings. And I think that we're going to see some great progress there. For example, this building and the portable building next to it, where the where the tutoring center is, will be replaced over the next 18 months with a building that will house classrooms and the administration. So that's going to be a very nice project, a great addition to the campus. But even more importantly, we have two big projects that are that we think will be funded by the legislature. One is a technology building, and the other is a science building. And you know how important both of those areas are to our economy right now. So if we can get those major projects built over the next 3 or 4 years, that's going to be just a tremendous step forward for the college. We have a smaller project as well that will improve the physical education facilities over the next couple of years.